Okay, hi everybody. You know what time it is. Manga 922. Bleach. 1,000 Year Blood War. Yeah, episode. What was this again? One second. Episode 17. Season 2, episode 17. Heart of Wolf. Now, after last week's episode, when they released that Von Dirch thing, the Quincy's, it seems like the favor's now in their hands. Um, they obviously have the upper hand now. They can use this power. The fight focuses the episode focuses mostly on Bastard Bean, Bambietta, and Shinji, who gets he gets one shot. He gets one shot in. Oh Jesus. We get to see cool things with Shinji in the previous episode. And then basically Komamura comes into play. Now, I like the fact in this episode, and I read this in the manga, basically the whole gist is Komamura, his clan are clans of, I guess you could say werewolves. In some aspect of it. He's like a wolf guy. He's an omniphoric wolf or dog. But because it says in the episode, the explanation he gives up his heart to his ancestor. I'm going to call it his ancestor, this guy, of the Jian clan. And the explanation they give you, I read it in the manga, I'm sure everybody's read it already in the manga, is that they were considered the werewolf clan. But they were banished because of their sin, and the only place they could go to was the Soul Society. Now, by giving up his heart, he has an immortal body. And at this juncture, after this fight with Bambietta, at this point, Bambietta goes, woo! Boom! Her character takes a nosedive. I shouldn't be laughing, but I just love the fact of what Kubo did to her character. It's so fucked up. It is so fucked up. People. And as someone who saw what happens after she gets, it's just so messed up. But anyway, focusing on what's happening, as it's happening, there's this lieutenant who's part of Shinji's squad, and Komamura basically tells her to run with Shinji in tow. And she does. And then he fights Bambietta. Bambietta's like, it's having this bitch be so confident, and then the end of the episode, she's just like rock bottom, is I find so funny, ironic, and in your face. I read it in the manga. I see it again in the anime. This is great. This adds to it. Animation-wise, I thought this was done very well. The inclusion of Komamura's new form when he releases his Bankai, the armor gets stripped of the Bankai, and it's immortal, and it's like, which is funny, referencing what happens to Bambietta later on. But like I said, he fights Bambietta. She's realizing, and she's like, why did you do like she's complaining to him that he's giving up his life. And I'm like, bitch, this is a war. Really? Though I can't really complain. What happens to her? But they have the fight. The fight is pretty good for what it is. And she fights him, throws the bomb, the reishi bombs that she has in her wings. It goes nowhere. Literally goes nowhere because he's immortal and he can't die. So eventually he gets to her and hits her with the sword and she gets thrown to the ground. The rise before the fall. Yeah, that's what it is. It's the rise before the fall. She was so confident fighting Shinji, and then she fights Komamura, who's immortal apparently. Go figure that. And that basically happens. There's not really much in this episode aside from that. We have Ichigo. That's later at the end, towards the end. But besides that, the only other part we have is after the fight, Komamura wants to continue because he wants to go kill Bach. And his ancestor is saying, good. Like, the Emperor, good. You get your revenge. And all this thing about revenge and vengeance. And his ancestor eats his heart. And then he transforms to actual beast, which is basically a dog. An actual dog. And his lieutenant shows up and grabs him. And then we get the title card from a footprint. Bleach 17, Heart of a Wolf. Nice touch there. After that fight is over, a few things happen with Uryu and the other Stern Ritters behind the scenes. They seem to be going back. But then we get the aftermath of Bambietta. And the other 4 female Sterners show up. Catnip and the other 3. There's that girl, Giselle. She calls her Gigi. And she says, I can't believe I lost. And she's complaining. And then she's like, we're here for you. And she's like, no! They do, let's just say, what happens to her. I'm not going to say. I don't want anime only watchers to be upset. After that, we go to Masculine. Masculine. James. Oh my god. I love this character. Even though he's a sterner, I just love him. And his little James, no, Masculine. It's so funny because it's such like a wrestling thing. And they're trying to pull over. But they fought those 3 lieutenants. And Isagi was there. They're not able to beat this guy. And up comes his captain. Which is basically the 2 who came back to the Soul Society. Who were the visors. Of Captain 9, I believe 7. Or 8. And they show up, they're going to fight Masculine. There's an explosion in the background with something coming down. I don't think that's Ichigo. That might be something else. I think that's actually Renji and Rukia, or Byakuya and Rukia, coming down from up there. Because they were up there in the palace with the Royal Guard as well. Squad 0. So I think that's what that is in the background. But overall, that's basically what happened. And then at the end, we got Ichigo, and he's got the eye thing going on. This, I think, has more context because it's sort of like referencing Bach in some way. Basically, what's happening here is Ichibei is explaining to Ichigo, what he's taking in, are you going to be able to take it in, or are you going to be shattered from it? And what he's referencing is the Soul King. So the Soul King's power is being infused into Ichigo, but my man Ichigo, he stands fast, he's able to take it, and that's where the episode ends. Next week, it's going to be ringside, more masculine, so we're going to get that fight. Overall, so far from the fights, I think it's good. I know we were promised with new scenes. I'm glad we got to see Shinji's Bankai. I think that was something that needed to be done. That really was. That was something that needed to be shown, because I know a lot of people were complaining about it. I'm glad they showed it. I know he got kind of one-shotted by Master Bean, but we did get to see it before, the whole thing went tits up. But overall, rating-wise, not a lot happened, but still, I thought it was very good. Not a 10 out of 10. Probably 9.5 out of 10, I'd say. I think that, the whole Komamura fight is kind of like, I don't want to say it. I don't want to say it. I don't say it. Because it's a spoiler territory about Bambietta. What they do to her, well, what Giselle does to her, it references her power with the Sternritter. It's not a good power. It's pretty nasty. Let's just say they do her dirty in the worst way possible. That's all I'm going to say. This is Bankai 922. I'll see you guys later. Komamura, man. He turned into a werewolf, and he turned into a normal doggy. I'll see you guys later.